So this is my newest painting I'm working on. Basically the pool of Siloam. And Jesus is healing a man that was sick for 40 years. You know, you've got all the people in the pool. The angel's going to be coming down. This is just a lot of pre-planning. This is not even close to being done. This is like step one. And I had my secret helper paint in all the background. Like, I drew it out and I just didn't have the motivation to paint in the background. So I had my secret helper, who shall never be revealed for a long time, help me with just filling in everything with the gray, because I just didn't have the motivation to even start on this. With 2 babies keeping me up at night, teething, crying, and all that, I just don't feel motivated to paint lately. But I usually paint kind of as something to help me emotionally deal with issues. Like if I have a big problem or something, our baby just died and we had a miscarriage. So that was pretty sad, and usually painting just helps me somehow get over things. I don't know. It gives me some relief. I don't know. Distracts me. I don't know. But I thought I'd paint Jesus healing the man who'd been sick for 40 years at the pool of Siloam, and it'll take a while to get this done. I want to drag it out and really put a lot of detail and time into it. If I rush things too much, then they end up not turning out the way I want. So I want to just put as much time into this one as possible and get it right. My husband said to show people my paintings because I never show them off. I basically do them for my family, for my children, for my friends, sometimes sell them or do commission work, but usually it's just kind of for our family and our children and stuff. And for me, spiritually and emotionally, it helps me to paint. So this is one I worked on a long time ago, and it didn't really take that long. I thought it would take so much longer than it took. It was pretty fast. And obviously it's the Grand Canyon. But what I wanted to show you in this one is in the walls. Basically, this painting was because of the walls. I wanted to show that you have like 5,000 miles of fossils in the walls. And that shows us a flood. So the whole purpose of this painting was to show those fossils in the walls of the Grand Canyon, which definitely show us, you know, large pockets of fossils, showing us that there was a flood. This is not millions of years of layering. This is a flood, is what it shows us. That a large flood, a worldwide flood, is what carved out the Grand Canyon, not millions of years. So I thought it'd be cool to paint the Grand Canyon. I'll show you a couple others. This one is obviously the Garden Tomb, which I believe is the most likely place for Jesus to have risen from the dead, is the Garden Tomb. And I wanted to do several of these and do it from like different perspectives and really get a handle on it. But I haven't got to that yet because it takes a long time. I mean, every painting I do takes like 20 to 40 hours. So I don't have that kind of time. I've got 2 little babies and I'm constantly working around our house. So it's like, I don't have that time, but I wish I did, you know. In a perfect world, I would just be painting all day long, and probably in heaven I'll be painting all day long, but just... This is a box that I did for our children to like keep all of our, you know, stuff, sacred stuff, you know, all that memorabilia type stuff, drawings and stuff in this box from our kids. And you can put stuff inside of it. I like to hide stuff from our babies in there so they can't get to it. And this is a stool that I did that basically has a lot of verses on it that I love. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So like every encouraging verse that I could think of, I put on this, just to have it sitting in our living room and, you know, something that you can look at once in a while and get some encouragement. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not unto thine own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Now passeth through the waters, I will be with thee, you know, all those kind of verses. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings of peace. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. And this is my husband's favorite, so I put the deer there because that's like his sign. He has a big deer on his arm, so I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. This is the desk I made to kind of keep our stuff together and organized and all our books and stuff. It has study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And it has, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me bringeth forth much fruit. And on the top of it, it has my favorite verse that I can't get to because all our books are in the way. But if you have faith as a mustard seed verse is on the top. And you shall know them by their fruits. Every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. So I love making furniture that's painted too. Just to, you know, be something to give down, hand down to our children and something to make our house look cool. Here's another plaque thing that I made. Eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. Which is kind of blocked by our bookshelf. I'm running out of space, so we're getting a bigger house soon, and we're going to be moving into a better house, so we can space out our paintings and stuff better. I have so many paintings. I have at least 60 paintings in my garage, and my husband lost one of my collections of paintings, so I'm pretty peeved about that still. From the last place we lived, they were sitting in the closet, and he was like, I'll grab them before we go, and he left them behind. So, and this is one I made a long time ago. For by grace are you saved through faith, not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. So, you know, yeah, that's just a few of our paintings around here. This one I did of the dinosaurs living with man, basically. The Bible tells us that dinosaurs lived with man, so I just kind of thought about what that would look like and made a painting about that. You know, the people are really tiny compared to the dinosaurs, so I thought it'd be kind of fun. And you got a giant back here like hunting a dinosaur, so. But we know that the world before the flood was totally different, so I tried to imagine the pre-flood world and basically just do a painting on that just for fun and kind of to help my kids understand the way that the world used to be before the flood. And this is last but not least, Johnny Cash, which my husband had me paint for him. He has some similarities to Johnny Cash. He loves guitar and all that, so he loves Johnny Cash. And Johnny Cash was a Christian. He had some struggles, obviously, with drugs, but he was a Christian man, and I believe we'll see him in heaven. I love his music. My grandma actually played with Johnny Cash. It was one of her childhood friends, and she had no idea he would be so famous and stuff. So that was something she always talked about all the way up until she died, that she used to play with Johnny Cash. She used to live in Arkansas and play on the farm with him, and just, you know, thought it was a neighborhood kid, but he turned out to be very famous and everything. So with this painting, obviously this is his young picture, but I remade it. I added the cross in the background to add for the effect of him being a Christian. Added the Bible on the desk, the pills on the desk to show, you know, his struggle with pills. And even though he was struggling with that, he still had faith and kept his faith. But it was just like a battle he couldn't get through. And sometimes people are like that. They just can't get past it. That's a battle they'll have their whole life. It's a physical battle. They become physically hooked on things, and they can't physically get over it. So, you know, that's Johnny Cash's cross. Every Christian has a cross. And then I put the train in the background because this song, I hear the train coming, you know, whatever that song was, where he's talking about the train coming. I thought it'd be cool to have a train above his head. Couple little things I added in there, but yeah, so that's my most recent. I've been so busy with our 2 babies, I barely have time to paint. Me and my husband have a lot of things we do together for fun and stuff, soul winning and stuff like that, so we're just so busy. Unless I'm really like down and out, I never make time for painting. So I've just started this one that I'm working on, and it'll be done in a few weeks, maybe a couple months. And, you know, then I'll move on to something else. My husband wants another one of Johnny Cash, so we'll see if I have time for that. We'll see. Well, this one is obviously Jesus reaching out to Peter out on the water and, you know, showing the disciples in the boat, like throwing out a rope to him, just trying to save him with their human, you know, strength, trying to, I don't know, that's what I was trying to depict. Like, the disciples are trying to use their human strength to save Peter, but they can't do it. Only Jesus can, and it comes by looking to Jesus. That's how our faith comes, and that's how we are saved, by looking to Jesus, depending on Jesus. You can't depend on man. And that's what I was trying to depict in this painting. So, but yeah, I have a lot more Christian paintings. I wish I had them all in my house, but I don't, because we just don't have any space. So maybe in our next house, I'll have a bigger gallery to show you. So that's what I've got, you know, enjoy.